IGN Action Hero Hall of Fame. There's somebody else in that Hall of Fame, isn't there?
What's his name?
What's his? It's Sylvester Stallone, of course.
Well,
why don't you bring your friend up?
That'll be my pleasure. One of my fellow brothers in the hard R business, a fellow who really does it right, an incredible man, someone that I really grew to respect over the years because he's not just physical, he's a brilliant guy and very, very compassionate, and a true one-of-a-kind movie star, the likes of which we'll never see again. My friend, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's nice to have you. It's nice for you to be back. It's good to see you. What did you think watching your reel? That's pretty exciting to go back through memory lane.
Well, I was right away, competitive. I'm sorry, I said.
Oh, really?
Spies killed, 288 people. I killed 289 people. Yeah. We always were competing. I mean, over the last 3 decades, it's always like who killed more people, who did the most brutal killing, who was shooting more people, who had more muscles, who had more oil in their muscles, who had body fat, and all this kind of things. So it's nice that we kind of work together. And with such unbelievable stunts. Look at this here. It's really great.
Well, tell us a little bit about making this film and working together for you guys and for the whole team. I mean, this was this one. It must be one for the books for you.
Well, I mean, it was really fun to go to Bulgaria and to work with this great action. And we have an assembly of the best action stars, I think, in the world in this movie. It's like kind of like James Bond's running around in the movie and creating all this unbelievable action. And it was also, I have to say, I was very appreciative about the fact that when I came in, they all treated me kind of like, well, we know you've been out of the business for 8 years, let me show you how to load a gun again. And Aaron, here's how you throw a punch, okay? Don't hit us, but just, throw a punch and do a little this and all those kind of things. And here you kick, how you kick it. So it was really like a how-to the first hour, but then I realized that I didn't lose it all. That I could get right back into the action and shoot the gun, load the gun, and do all this kind of thing. Or take a knife out and kill a guy and cut his head off and all this. So all the fun things, I didn't forget. You wish you could do some of those things when you're in politics, but I mean, you can't.
That would be a different kind of cutback for sure. Terry, you look like you're so happy. What was it like making a movie with these guys?
Hey man, first of all, I played 7 years in NFL, and one thing we used to do right before each game, the night before, Saturday night, we would sit and watch these guys' movies.
Nice.
And one thing you gotta understand about the action genre is that it's like a religion. It really is. You get your beliefs from these movies. You get what's right and wrong from these movies. You get your inspiration from these movies. I mean, we used to come out, and that would funnel us to play for a season. It would one experience with these guys, and to be on the stage, to be in a movie with them. I'm from Flint, Michigan. Okay, I should be in jail. And here I am on this stage with these guys after doing this movie. This is America. It proves it can happen. These are the guys that the reason I'm in shape right now. And I'm just telling you, give it up to these guys. Let me say, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, amazing. Bruce Willis, everybody in this movie is awesome.
I would just say that, Gary, I told you that when we were filming, that we worked together 12 years ago.
That's right.
And 6th day.
That's right. The first movie I ever did.
Yeah, the first movie I've ever done. Exactly. And you have gained such unbelievable muscle size and definition. You were muscular man. I remember in Vancouver, you were very muscular, very athletic, since you were star football player and all that. But I mean, to see you now, I walked into the gym in Bulgaria when you were working out, and I saw, you know, the muscles that you have and the definition that you have, and the very little body fat. I don't know what it is, but 6%.
Oh no, 4.5%. But
it's really amazing to see you gaining this 20-25 pounds of muscles this last few years, and your acting is incredible. So it was really terrific, and I'm very proud of working with you again on this movie here. So congratulations, with Rich.
I can die now. I don't like my muscles. I can die now.
I hope you don't take it the wrong way.
Hey baby. Got a man crush going on. I'm sorry. It's a bromance.
So Randy, you know, one of the great things that Arnold did was go from one world into another, you know, and reinvent himself. Terry had a similar experience, and you had a similar experience. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's obviously an interesting transition coming from the world of mixed martial arts and being a professional athlete, and now trying to be considered a bona fide actor, and certainly being on screen with these guys is a big step in the right direction. But I still think there's some hurdles there, and I know that Arnold probably crossed some of those hurdles too. They just looked at him as a bodybuilder, a world champion in bodybuilding, and it wasn't until some of those other movies where you really got to sink his teeth into playing those characters that they said, oh yeah, okay, the guy can really act. And I think I'm still looking for that. I think Expendables is a huge step in the right direction for me.
Oh, that's outstanding. And then Dolph, I have to ask you, it's good to see you. How you doing?
What did you say?
So, if I understand right, you once punched him Sly so hard that they had to fly him to a hospital.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
Totally true.
It is.
Cheap shot.
What?
He was my boss. He said, hit me, I did. And that was it.
It's true. I thought, let's go for some realism. For the first 30 seconds, just try to knock me out. And he did. So much for realism. Okay? And it hit me so hard that I went to the hospital. I thought, sorry. Car accident. I said, actually, yes, it was a Volvo.
Jeez. That's great. And then, Sly, tell us a little bit about the movie, the characters, and where we find them.
Okay, obviously they're the mercenaries. They have a real sense of brotherhood. They do crazy things together. They really don't have much of a family. So this time, they go to a place. Well, they're actually going. They're start off in a place like Burma or Nepal. We don't really know exactly where they are, but they're in the middle of a situation. And then I don't want to spoil it, but there's a surprise, and we meet up with other mercenaries. And then we go back home. We go on a routine assignment. Well, actually, it's a routine assignment. I'm sort of blackmailed almost by Bruce Willis to go on this very, very dangerous journey, even though he says it's nothing, it's a walk in the park. Well, we get into this strange place with some very, very bad guys, and horrible things begin to happen, and the Expendables are pushed to the limit. And then I'm saved by my friendship. The other characters come in that were formulated in the first movie, like Bruce Willis and Arnold's character, and we all come together in the end with this amazing climax that I don't think will ever be seen again. It's really a one-off. It was amazing actually being in it. I said, am I in a movie? I mean, these are guys that I've seen in movies, and now we're all together. So I think we pulled off something that's pretty remarkable, and the most amazing thing is that we didn't shoot each other's heads off because we were doing choreography of actually ducking under blazing guns in live time, which I had never done before. So this turned out to be a real experiment in faith, and also dealing with guys who have 3 distinct different styles, and not including the other Expendables who also have their amazing styles, but they'll all come together, including with Chuck Norris. And it's really quite amazing. So I think you're in for a tremendous ride.
Arnold, one of the great traditions in action films is this idea of like a team up. I mean, going back to Dirty Dozen and Magnificent Seven, that adds an extra energy to the film, I would imagine. Was that a kind of a fun thing for you?
I think that is fun, but I have to stress again, it is so important that you work with the right people, and I think that we as the Expendables is so fortunate to have such great people like Dolph Lundgren, who comes from the martial arts background, has been a champion, so he brings that kind of craft to the screen. So there is no one that has to train him now how to throw punches and how to do the kicks and all of those things. He's the real deal. The same is with Van Damme, but the same is when you see Randy. I mean, Randy has been the greatest fighter, the UFC fighter, and so when you see him in an action film, actually doing action and having those fights, it looks so wonderful. It's not something that has to be overly choreographed by a stunt coordinator or something like this. So this, I think, in carrying, with his football background and being such a great athlete, so this is what made it fun, is that each one had tremendous talents in their own field. And then to bring that and Sly did such a good job to utilize not only the personalities of those characters, their acting abilities, but also their physical talent and their background that they had. So this was really terrific to work with that. And for me also it was great because we have been trying to work on a film for many, many years, and finally this whole thing has come about because it's a natural for us to work together. We have so many things in common. I mean, we love physical fitness and the muscles, and then action movies.
Big watching, big ring.
No one can understand each one of us. there's so many things we have in common. This is absolutely wild. Because what no one knows is, by the way, and please turn off your recordings and don't write it down. This is off the record. But when I came to America 44 years ago, Sly was my English teacher. So blame him for everything.
No, hey.
That's good.
Jesus. We should have a spelling bee someday. We're really going to be amazing.
When did you guys meet? Do you remember, what was the first time you two met?
I remember him at the Golden Globes. That's what I really remember. And I said, who is this guy? He's like as big as the whole table. And it was like, kind of like raining on my parade. And so Rocky wins Best Picture, and it said Best Newcomer. And I'm like, who's he? Jesus. And he keeps staring at me and getting bigger and bigger. And then finally, he goes, Best Newcomer, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I go, yeah, come on, no one's going to. He's a joke to have a name like that. Dude, over, flash in the pan. And then, of course, I went, congratulations, hope you fail. Like, I didn't mean the competition. Then Rocky won for Best Picture after it won for Best Director. And I jump up like an idiot. I'll never forget. There was a bowl of flowers, you remember? And I said, I have to do something to get something, reaction out of this guy. And I throw the flowers up near that, land on his shoulders, and I was laughing all over the table, and he just went, oh my God. I can just see him saying, like, am I going to cross-pollinate this guy someday? So that's how we met the first time, was at that Golden Globes Award.
I remember when you threw the flowers, and the only other reason why I remember it is because your mother came over to me, and she said to me, she said, you look like a piano mover. Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. I loved it. But anyway, so here we are. We're working together in this film. Then right after that, we did the Doom.
The Doom.
Which
We just finished that
movie, which we just finished a few weeks ago, and so it has really been terrific.
That's great film.
Now be able to do those films. And also, it's great for me to be back again. From. Some people that say Arnold was gone from acting 8 years. I said, well, there's other people like the critics that say he was never in acting in the first place. That's okay, right? We can have this.
We can take it. That's great. I mean, Terry, for you, I mean, making a movie like this, with the first one, did you know it was something special going in? I mean, the lineup, no one quite knew what to make of.
No, I mean, I remember getting the call and meeting Sly down in Beverly Hills, and again, I go into the Stark room, it's like, hey, sit down. And he's like, I got the part, and what was so nuts is, I knew it would be good, because I'm a fan. I'm just like you. I would have done anything to be in the entertainment industry. I started out in security.